welcome, and welcome.
It's great to see everyone here on this beautiful, beautiful Sunday morning. We welcome you to this online art event today, a diverse group of people gathered here together who are going to get virtually acquainted this morning anyway. Welcome you to this event called Circles of Fierce Love and Compassion. So for the next hour, we hope to offer you, we intend very clearly to offer you a creative and a meditative exercise where you can learn right word mandalas. Before we begin though, I just want to invite all those of you gathered here online to recognize each other's faces, to recognize that we're not gathering alone, that we're gathering in a community, and to greet each other with a wave or a heart or a bow or whatever, but just greet each other if you would, right, for a second. Right. Beautiful, beautiful.
Hello.
Just take a look at the faces that are here and look around the virtual room where we're gathered. It's really there's some people I don't know yet that I'm looking forward to getting to know. So we're coming together now as a community to awaken and nurture the creative spirit in each of us. And I also want to thank Create TV for making it possible to access this event through free local TV. So this event is being broadcast live on Channel 20. So we want to welcome those of you watching there right now who might be watching there on TV. You're part of our community too. We want to welcome you to join in this activity today. So as we begin, I want to invite our technician and our wizard behind the curtain, Pear, if you would, to put up our first slide.
Okay. Can everybody also go on mute if you can? Thank you so much.
There's the genius behind everything going well today. So I want to welcome you and ask, as you begin, just to kind of get ready for this morning, to have, if you don't already anyway, have a blank paper and a pen, if you could, and maybe a small circular object of some sort, a quarter or a cup or a bottle cap. And quite frankly, it's that simple. This art exercise is that simple. That's all you'll need to get started. If you happen to have a copy of the circular mandala template, that will work too, that some people were sent, but you don't have to have it. So this morning's program will be led by the gifted leaders that you see on this slide, who are part of the creatives or compassionate communities. The creative process this morning, I'm so grateful will include a guided meditation and an opportunity to make a bright word mandala, which you'll learn more about very soon. Then we'll close the hour with a reflection on gratitude and the surprising ways, even in times like these, that gratitude can guide our lives. Then around 11, we'll end our live broadcast, but I invite those of you online to stay with us at 11, if you would, to share your experience of this exercise. Part of the way that art builds compassionate communities is through this sharing time of sharing what the art evokes in us. So listening to each other, seeing each other's work, it can help us build bridges in that time to open our understandings. So I hope you will share in that 11 to 11:30 hour. And you can relax because that part won't be on TV, all right? You don't have to put your work out on TV the first day. All right, next slide there. So who is this group? The Creatives for Compassionate Communities was really born out of this deep desire to use the synergy of art and spirituality to hold the space where we can listen to each other, where we can create in ways that contribute to healing the brokenness in our communities. The next slide there. So a creative act of any kind can just be an expression of a devotion to love and compassion that is so deep that it can endure obstacles, it can navigate conflict. Now, recently I've heard a couple of people ask out loud to themselves and to me, I wonder if I have the strength to go through all this. And today we want to invite you to tap into and to practice fierce compassion, to experience love and compassion as infinite, as vast, deep, and enduring, to experience love and compassion as the strength that they are. So next slide. So I'm Dana Bainbridge, and I'm the pastor of Urban Sanctuary Congregation in downtown San Jose. And the next slide, I want to introduce you to some other people. I'm honored to be part of this amazing group of leaders who are involved as part of the Creatives for Compassionate Communities. The people on this side that are involved in creating music, theater, visual arts, movement, writing, and all of that as spiritual practice to them. They are out in the schools, in prisons, neighborhoods, leading work retreats, even in the corridors of City Hall. There's even bringing art there, where they are advocating for the arts and as a way to bring communities together to create this kind of awakening. The next slide there. So at this moment, this is a piece of the vision of this group that you see written on the slide here. This moment, we're painfully aware, I think, in our community now of the depths of the wounds of injustice. And as you read here, our reason for holding space for events like this, I want to invite you to consider empathy for all the people, various people who are showing up here today to create. So some of us at this event are working tirelessly to make enduring policy changes, to use this moment to demand an end to the injustices that Black and Brown people have known in our country. Some are clearing their eyes to more fully grasp the reality of white supremacy and white privilege. Some who are here today are revisiting ways in which they or their relatives have experienced the trauma of oppression. So we're all coming in, and I invite us to carry empathy for each other. And it's our hope that today will be just this time of centering, of drawing from the deep well of love and compassion that is this restful practice of creating, and that through that empathy, it will be the catalyst for some changes that we're seeking in ourselves and in our world. And the next slide. So just to let you a little know some of the values of this coalition as well, I want to share with you those here. We want to invite ideas and participation for the future. And so we want to draw other artists in, and we want to bring people together who normally don't talk to each other or get together. So as creatives for compassionate communities, we gather around these values to inspire those who feel disconnected and disempowered, to be sure that the full artistic expression is accessible regardless of economic means. We don't want to create any barriers, if at all possible. We want to create compassionate communities, just celebrating that creativity is the birthright of every person. And we want to bridge places where there have been silos and barriers across spiritual communities and various backgrounds. So as we move into the main part of our program today, I just want to pause to dedicate this event with the next slide, if you would. We had intended having our second event on March 15th, but it was abruptly canceled because of the coronavirus. And that event was to been led around the theme of abundant resistance by organizer and writer Derek Sanderlin. Since then, Derek was significantly injured recently when he was hit at close range by a rubber bullet during a protest. But Derek continues to use his voice, his words. He's been interviewed many times, and he continues to use his art to resist the forces that tear us apart. So this event is dedicated to Derek. We want to bring Derek back to share his message at a future event on abundant resistance. But we dedicate this event to him now. I'd like to introduce you now, though, to Amari Thomas. Amari is a soul coach, helping individuals and organizations reconnect to their true purpose. And she will be sharing a clearing and a grounding experience to begin today. Thanks, Amari.
Good morning, everyone. I love Zoom because you press a button and all of a sudden you're all gone. So can you see me? That's the most important thing. And
now I can see you, Amari.
Okay, and can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. So, so I don't believe in coincidences. So let's get started in centering because all I see right now is the chat room, which is not what I expected to see, but there we are. Great, I'm back. Hi, okay. So I just wanted to emphasize and affirm some of the comments that Dana made. And Dana, your welcome was so inspiring. I felt tears well up for me. So a couple of things. We want to hold this space. So what we're going to do over the next few minutes is to create our space together so that this bright words mandala can really come forward from your heart and from your soul. We want to reconnect to that strength that you have, so much, not only the COVID-19 and now all the things about our society and culture. And so we are strong. We can make it through this, but we need to get connected to that. So we'll give you a little bit of that. And so let's begin. I want to start with a quote that I actually got like 4 years ago about we were born for these times. And if there was ever a time that our light needed to be shown through art, through spirituality, through whatever unique talent you have, it is now. So there is no accident that we are all here at this time. It is no accident whoever is here on this in this room, in the Zoom room with us. So I'm very excited to see you and I welcome you. Buenos dias. So If you'd like, you can close your eyes. We're going to do a little meditation and some guided visualization to get us into that beautiful space. I will intentionally stop my video because I want to be able to focus internally to help you. So forgive me, I will be back. So let's connect with the breath. And you're welcome you to close your eyes, but you don't have to. There's some beautiful slides of nature there for you, if that helps you more, to just quiet the mind. And the breath is a nourishing practice. So whenever you feel the stress of the world, just pause and breathe. If you can, deepen your breath for a moment. Allow the breath to nourish all the cells of your body, your organs, everything. So let's connect with our bodies. Hopefully you're sitting in a comfortable position, but if you're not, please give yourself permission to settle in and just feel the body. Feel the chi moving through the body. Maybe you find places of stagnant energy. Maybe place your hand on those places where you might feel that your body energy is just not flowing well. And now we want to connect to your heart chakra. I believe this is where our soul resides. So let's connect there. Because life is ever changing and moving and there's so much going on, sometimes we come into situations like this with some distractions in our mind. That's very normal, but we want to clear those away as much as possible so those bright words that are so important in creating the mandala can come forward. So I encourage you to imagine in your mind's eye that there's beautiful clouds. I think they're actually out there today, or they were yesterday anyway. And if you have anything going on in your mind, a to-do list, a worry, whatever, just take those thoughts and crumble them up into like a little ball and toss them into the clouds, almost like a basketball hoop. And just toss those distractions out of your mind so that you can be fully present now. So now I'm going to take you into a guided meditation, and I'd like for you to imagine your favorite nature space, whatever that might be. Is it the ocean, mountains? Are there redwoods? Is it the desert? Find yourself in this nature space. We want to ground ourselves in Mother Nature. We want to center ourselves with that powerful energy that keeps us grounded during these turbulent times. Take a deep breath. Feel the nourishment and the love that Mother Earth has for you. Whenever you feel distracted or just not your best self, go out into your garden, take a walk, hug a tree. This will help ground you so that you can bring forward your beautiful light into the world. Now we're going to focus back on the heart, and I'd like for you to imagine a beautiful rose in the middle of your heart, any color you like, but it has lots of petals. And this is our rose energy. This is our loving kindness energy. This is our compassion energy. And feel the color of that rose move throughout your body. Self-compassion is so important and needs to actually come first before we can be compassionate out in the world. Feel that energy of that rose. And now allow those rose petals to open up to the outside of your body. And think of your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors, those closest to you, and send that love, rose, compassionate energy to them with this wonderful essence of who you are uniquely in the world, expressing your unique form of compassion. And now the rose opens up even more, and we send it out to the entire world, to the animals and the sky and the earth and the trees and the rocks, and through those all the way across the planet, or maybe just down the street that you don't know. But we want to send this beautiful rose compassion energy out to the world. And I can already feel all of you doing that. And when we do this as a group and send that group power, it is transformative. Never doubt your ability to transform through your compassion and your kindness and your love. One person at a time, one group at a time. You have it within you. You have that strength. And now we bring that energy back, slowly and surely, back to ourselves. Feels so good to come back, because now we've picked up some of the compassion energy from each other, and we settle into it. Take a deep breath. Come back to the present moment. If your eyes have been closed, you can open them. This beautiful slide of the candlelight is another way to get grounded, besides going out and nurture nature, is to focus on the candlelight. And so now, as we start to move forward in our session for you, it's my pleasure to introduce you to our first speaker. She is the founder of Taiko Peace, which is actually an acronym for Partnerships in Empathy and Creative Empowerment. You also may know her as the co-founder of Taiko, San Jose Taiko, and a drummer. And so she is taking that work in the vibration world and bringing it to Taiko Peace. And she's going to lead you in an experience called Radiating Energy Bright Words Mandala. Namaste, dear PJ.
Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction, Amari. What an honor to be here with all of you today. You are a part of a pilot of what we can do with collective energy and with intention of what we want to see in our world. So today, radiating energy with bright word mandalas. I'd like to give a little background about what about mandalas? Where do they come from? The name mandala comes from the Sanskrit word circle. Mandala is a spiritual and ritual symbol in Hinduism and Buddhism, representing the universe. The circular designs symbolizes the idea that life is never ending and everything is connected. The act of creating a mandala represents the transformation of ordinary minds into enlightened ones, and to assist with healing and to center the body and the mind. Next. Within the last few years, we've probably seen on the market inundated with these coloring books with mandalas, and mainly for relaxation and meditation, such as this one here called Coloring for Calm book, which happened to be my first mandala coloring. And here are a few samples on the sides of that book that I colored. I share this with you because when I first bought this book, I was intimidated. I've had a nice set of colored pencils stored in my cabinet for over 30 years, and I never used them. And I was really anxious because I never took an art class to learn how to combine colors. And that was in my limiting brain. So I had to tell the brain, shut up, just do it. And then with each coloring of a page, my limiting brain started to unfold. So how did I get into mandalas? Well, after transitioning out of directorship of San Jose Taiko 9 years ago, 2011, I wanted to dedicate my work with Taiko with the focus on Taiko Peace. Peace, again, acronym for partnerships in empathy and creative empowerment. So I decided to take a peace ambassador training program, which provided me skills and resources to merge peace building with my Taiko path, Taiko Peace. So 6 years ago, I received a fellowship to go to Japan for 3 months. And one of the places I wanted to visit, which I learned about through my Peace Ambassador training program, was the Mount Fuji Peace Sanctuary. The grassroots organization at the Peace Sanctuary is known Byakko Shinkokai. It's founded to further the vision for world peace and the elevation of humanity's consciousness through easily accessible spiritual principles, starting with the universal message and prayer, may peace prevail on earth. And I'm sure that many of you have seen peace poles at cultural centers, at places of worship, where there's this intention, may peace prevail on earth. Next. Here you see me standing in front of this 15-foot in diameter mandala that Byakko Shinkokai took to the United Nations. And within each concentric circle, the names of countries appear with the word peace written in their language, repetitively written in these circles. There was such a powerful radiating energy entering my body, just standing in front of this mandala. And it was infused with so much intention. Next. This intention. Where intention goes, energy flows. It's like also sending a prayer out into the world. So, next. What is a bright word? And it was at the Mount Fuji Peace Sanctuary where I learned about these bright word mandalas. These bright word mandalas is just a practice to focus our energy where we would like to place this energy through us and into the world. Next. Some examples of bright words that I learned from the Mount Fuji Sanctuary were things like infinite love, infinite harmony, infinite peace, infinite light, and so on. And you can kind of glance through these words, whatever resonates for you, and I'm sure there are a lot more words that are bright for you. But one thing that really captivated me was like to see continuously this infinite. For me, infinite was kind of one of those words that, yeah, infinite is unreachable. And yet to see infinite and appearing before each of these characteristic bright words, something started to unfold for me in understanding that, wow, I've placed limitations in what I think is love, limitations in what I think is harmony, what I think peace. So seeing this infinite all of a sudden opened me to this expansiveness, thinking that yeah, now I know what infinite means. It's boundless, boundless energy. Next. Other inspirations, besides the bright words, you might be inspired by like a favorite poem or a haiku poem, a favorite phrase or a quote, a meditation, a lyric or words to a song, even get warm and fuzzy by thinking of family names, pet names, places of beauty, natural wonders like flowers, plants, trees, and animals. Next. This is just an example of what came out of me just only a few days ago after these last couple weeks of energy just spiraling in every direction. Within that pain, within this wake-up call, I centered myself, and this is why the bright word mandala for me became this place where I had to reset. It's just kind of placing myself into focus. And from the inside, these are concentric circles, but I don't just see them as circles within a circle. I see them as a spiral that generates outward to infinite largeness, to infinite smallness. I started from thinking, what is it that is going on with me and what might be going outside? I had to focus thinking, wow, I think I've been just taking the earth for granted. I want to acknowledge and thank with gratitude. Thank you, earth. Thank you, air. Thank you, mountains. Thank you, ocean. And then from there, spiral infinite freedom, infinite gratitude, infinite compassion. And then from there, I felt like, what are other bright words that need to come out? Infinite love, infinite inspiration, and on, infinite appreciation. And finalizing, may peace prevail on earth. So this is my one mandala that I did a few days ago, just to center myself. Next. So we're just getting ready to get into activity and simply have your either template or blank piece of paper, a writing apparatus, pencil, pen. You can use color, whatever. And also have freehand. You don't have to say, oh my God, I don't know how to do a circle. I can't keep within the bounds. But freehand, just trust yourself. Next. So this is how we're going to start. You will see the circles, and there is this line, perpendicular line that goes upwards. It's kind of like where you start your letter. You can use capital letters, you can use lowercase letters, but you would start from the inside. So you can kind of see where T, thank you, dear Earth. This is just to give you an example. You don't have to use these words. And as you lose your no room to complete in that circle, you jump onto the next line on the perpendicular line into the next concentric circle. And this is just to give you the idea of where we're going. Next. We are ready to actually get ready to do our activity. So if you can have your pencil ready and your paper. For those of you who already have your printed out template, this is what you will see. And for those who don't have anything, we had also recommended just that blank piece of paper and a circular object, like finding the center, and just making this circle just to be a guide. Even if you go beyond it, that's okay. If you want to even be more precise and find more of the center just to get started, I have this quarter here to show you. Oh, okay. You don't really need this, but just to get you going. Okay? So if you're ready, we are going to begin. I do have different tools here. Colors, a Sharpie pen, pencil. I think I'll start with my Sharpie pen. And one more thing, for those who are doing with a circle, think of that perpendicular line coming down to the center so that you can just start thinking of like where you will jump to the next line. I'll start here. I'm going to say infinite and go around clockwise. As you get started, I know this is a new activity, so there might be a little bit of anxiousness, anxiety, stress. Can you breathe, please? You don't have to follow any rules. These are just only guidelines because this is what's coming from you. I'm just giving you a guide. I'm going to say infinite beauty. But find within yourself, what is it that you need today, that you need to feel more connected, more whole? And think of your bright words. And again, no space in between. Just connect them all together. There is no wrong way of doing this. As you start getting into a rhythm, and just really think about yourself, giving you these character of bright words. Like if you're feeling a bit anxious and not confident in your wonderful gifts, maybe you might want to think about infinite love for yourself. And as you do this, think about, wow, making these letters. I'm not trying to create a masterpiece. These words are coming through me, from my heart, into my hand, onto paper that will radiate beyond this template. I'm going to change to a color pencil, but you can do anything. Don't think anything that limits you. I'm not doing this correctly. Just kind of trust. And even if it's not staying in the circle, just feel it like, okay, I'm finding a rhythm going on. You can even be just repetitive of one bright word. I'm just going to just talk and try not to interrupt you, but I'd like to share with you that Per and I presented this bright word mandala exercise with a group in Philadelphia just this past Tuesday. And it was with a nonprofit called La Puerta Abierta, the open door. And it's a social service for undocumented people from South America, Central America, Spanish speaking. And she wanted her staff and volunteers to experience this bright word mandala exercise because they wanted to see how they could use it working with their communities. We had no idea because it was the first time we actually presented this with a organization that desired to know how to use this as a possible activity to work with their community. So, wow, it was very inspiring to find out what they experienced during this activity for themselves. And this is where I want you to tap into, what are you feeling when these words are emerging from you? And imagining these words are not going to stay on paper, that they are emanating and radiating beyond. Because with these words, there is intention. Intention of energy going beyond. Healing for yourself and healing beyond. So I'll give you a few minutes and I actually will have you just concentrate on doing your right word mandala. Main thing, I want you to focus on that breath. I'm posting this picture, even though you might not look at it, but it's emanating energy out to you. This is called the Ocean of Chi, created by the artist Julia Mandala Weaver. And how I see this energy coming infinitely from the cosmos, infinitely from Mother Earth, and entering into our bodies. We become the vessels of receiving all this infinite energy. We become this vessel of being able to direct where we want this energy to go out from us. When I saw this picture, I said, that's what I feel when I play taiko, the Japanese drum. I'm feeling that I'm taking in this energy from the cosmos, from the earth, and wow, I want to connect. I want to share. I want to express. This is what the mandala is about also. It's pure inner expression with energy of intention of what you want to manifest for yourself, for others, and beyond. The session is not to completely finish a mandala. It's just only to give you the introduction of how to start a bright word mandala with all these different ways of looking at what is really needed that I need myself, what is really needed on the outside for healing. What is it that we want our world to really be? This is what this bright word mandala offers. And it becomes yours. And sometimes you're going to go, I don't want to just write these words. Maybe something else wants to come out. Like, I want to do a design. I want to use different colors. I want to do something else. Well, that's where creativity comes in. Again, there are no rules, just only guidelines within the template itself. I'll give you like 1 more minute and we'll come back together. Okay, you might just feel like, oh, I just started. Well, yeah, we just started. And I'm hoping that you can feel that desire and energy to complete your energy with intention, your prayer. These are what the mandalas are. So, you might not have completed, but you made a mandala. And here's an example of other bright word mandalas. Pear, also coming out of all that's been happening with the last few weeks, she came up with this bright word mandala. And it's not like you're looking for a visual masterpiece. Again, think of this as something that is coming out from you. Next. Here's an example of even my first mandalas when I said, oh my goodness, it's only black pen on white paper. And then I go, all these words are very meaningful to me. I think we really need to I need to show how to get that off the paper. So I said, go use colors, go write a poem. And so this is my expression of how I use my bright word mandalas. Next. And then I kind of surprised myself by creating a really different type of bright word mandala for my granddaughter. So I see Sophia. And as we were all hunkering down into shelter in space, shelter in grace, I did this not with the intention at all to create a mandala. I just started with a doodle. And I thought, wow, this doodle is coming so organically out of my hand that it's not like I wanted to create something really perfect. So I cut it out and I go, I'm going to paste this on a piece of paper because that's really me without controlling what can come out. It's just a doodle. And then after that, I started to see colors coming out. And then I also started to see, oh my goodness, yes, these are my concentric circles for my mandala. And so just only very single words like love, compassion, creativity, truth. You know, this was a message for my granddaughter. And also what I felt, I said her name, Sophia is grace. Sophia is beauty. Sophia is, it goes on and on, kind of like just giving her that prayer of who she really is and who she can become. So you can see like, whoa, where did those petals come from? I have no idea. That was part of the beauty in creating. So I just wanted to share that with you. I'm hoping that you are taking this exercise as just an introduction to explore for yourself. How you can also, if you have an altar, or create an altar where you can place your mandalas. So next, we're moving out of the actual doing, and I would like to share a 6.5-minute video called Blessings. It's from the network for Grateful Living. It features the voice of Brother David Steindl Rust, who is a leading figure in a worldwide gratitude movement. You'll see in this video how the bright words of breath, humility, imprecision, memory, change, and departures are blessings for us all. This video is a ripple from Per Urushima, who was a part of the video production, and she's a member of our Creatives for Compassionate Communities Coalition. After the video plays, please stay on because our coalition member, Smita Garg, will be our spotlighted speaker. And now, let's all take a breath. Take a deep, refreshing breath and exhale. And here we go. We might be having some technical difficulties here, but this is what it's all about, is how to be flexible. And as you move through this, you might just imagine these blessings as you see these wonderful photos and images. So I think we might be having a problem. We're putting out there for you where to catch this video. Please try to catch it. It's gratefulness.org. Blessings. Hare, would you like to speak about this video?
Sorry that we were not able to get the sound on it, but the blessings was we wanted to share the video because it had coincidentally bright words that really resonate with what we're probably all feeling right now. And so I hope you'll take the time to go and look at the video. It's a great one. And then you can also practice your bright word mandalas as you're listening to the 6 minutes. So I apologize we weren't able to get the audio for it. So without further ado, we'll move on to Smita for a moment of gratitude.
Mute. All right. Hello. I'm so sorry for that video. It's actually a beautiful video. I hope you can catch it on the URL that we posted. And now let us take a few moments to express our gratitude to our breath, our heart, and Mother Earth. I would like you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in and hold it for a moment and exhale through your mouth. Now breathe normally and simply observe your breath. Incoming breath energizes the body, and outgoing breath relaxes the body. Our breath allows us to accomplish every task, no matter how big or small, as we go through our day. Let us take a moment to thank our body and all the organs that serve us so quietly, helping us breathe 24/7, day after day. Take a deep breath in, hold for a moment, and release through your mouth. And now, let us bring our attention to our heart. Our heart is the source of infinite love. It allows us to give and receive love. Love keeps us going through tough times like these. Today, we are all gathered here to share that love, which is a reminder that we all belong together. Let us thank our heart for being that space of infinite love and compassion. And now take another deep breath, hold for a moment, and release very slowly. Now let us bring our attention to Mother Earth. She gives us everything we have, everything we need. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, the roof on our head. All she wants in return is our love and care. When we pour love into her, she returns it to us multifold. Let us take a moment to express our love for Mother Earth. Thank her for sharing her bounties with us. Her unconditional love will see us through all difficult times and fill our hearts with more love and compassion for us and for all beings. And so it is. And now take one more deep breath. Hold it and release. Om Shanti. Shanti, Shanti. May there be peace within and in every part of this world, this universe. And Per, I will hand this over to Dana now for closing thoughts.
Thank you, everyone. And as we close here at the top of the hour, I just want to again thank all the members of the coalition, Karen, Air, Amari, PJ, and Justin. Thank you for being with us with Create TV as well, and for recording this live and on Create TV channel. And we would love, for the rest of you all here, we would love to hear from you. Karen has been posting throughout the hour in the chat room the address for Creatives for Compassionate Communities, the email address. So we'd love to hear your feedback or thoughts and ideas from you. You can also find us on a beautiful Facebook page, created by Smita, Facebook at Creatives for Compassionate Communities. And we will be offering future events and hope to welcome back our beloved artist and friend, Derek Sanderlin, in the future, to whom this event has been deeply dedicated and honored Derek's activism in our community for racial justice. So please stay on. I hope I can see everybody here in a moment. And Per, can you help me with seeing raised hands and calling on people? I'd love to have you stay on if you would, because we want to hear from you. The power of these art activities is seeing what they evoke in different people as they experience the art, because we experience it in such incredibly different ways. And that's how we enrich our communities and our empathy and understanding of one another by the sharing process. So let me give you an opening question here anyway for sharing. And I want to be sure that Per is here. Per, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here, and I've allowed, if you're still here, you're allowed to unmute yourself. So you're able to do that if you'd like to ask a question.
So I'm going to invite you not to unmute yourself unless you're actually called upon to speak.